In tonight's Project Seattle report, the city of Seattle promises to ramp out street outreach efforts. The teams will have their work cut out for them. The city has drastically increased encampment removals, but some who live around the camp say it's not solving the problem. The Mount Baker neighborhood in South Seattle has seen the homeless camp shuffle several times this year. KOMO's Jeremy Harris is looking at that issue this evening there tonight, and he's live with this Project Seattle report. Jeremy?
Yeah, and Preston, until this week, this area right here on Bayview Street was full of homeless encampments. They've now been cleared, but neighbors say they want a clear solution to this problem long term because they say when an encampment is removed, it pops back up just a few blocks away.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get on my feet yet.
Larry Hutchinson was staying in this homeless encampment in Seattle, despite having a lease and keys to a subsidized apartment just down the street. If you have an apartment, why have you been staying out here on the street?
I got friends, and it's not depressing out here. Versus being inside with nothing.
But his days of homelessness are hopefully behind him after getting his back rent paid and basic necessities for his apartment thanks to help from the private outreach group We Heart Seattle. As we listened to Larry's story there, did anything in that surprise you?
Not whatsoever. We found out what his story was. He needs $348 to move back into his apartment, and he needs a bed. And that's like the easiest thing we should be able to do.
Andrea Suarez says many of the people on the street like Larry teeter on the edge of homelessness.
That's who is left here on the ground is people who have untreated mental illness and untreated substance abuse.
They sweep on one side of Rainier and they end up on the other side.
Steve Kinholt lives in Mount Baker and has gotten to know the homeless near his house.
And I think they want help. They just don't quite know how to get it, or maybe they're not ready for some reason to get it.
He says some camps have been cleared 5 times just this year, but the same people, he says, don't go far.
They have severe drug issues, most of them, and some of them mental issues as well. But I mean, we have to get them into treatment or something, because what's happening right now when you walk around, it's not compassion.
So while the city still looks for a long-term solution, the short-term solution, at least here on this street, are these eco blocks that have been put up by neighbors in an attempt to try and prevent vehicles from coming here to camp or large tent encampments from forming. Now, as I said, this camp was cleared earlier this week by order of the city, but we're told from several of the outreach workers who are in this area that new camps have formed. In fact, some have combined into one larger encampment just a few blocks away. Reporting live from South Seattle, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Stay with KOMO News as we track the homelessness and addiction crisis in our area through our Project Seattle reports. If you have a tip or a story idea, you can call the number there on your screen, 206-404-4732. You can also email projectseattle@komonews.com.